At last, the big day came. February 8th, 2001. Disney's California Adventure opened its golden gates and immediately failed to meet projected attendance.
There's a whole bunch of people looking at something. What's everybody looking at? It's a tractor! Wow! Look at that tractor! Boy, I've never seen a tractor like that one before.
Son of a bitch bastard, I'll get you for this!
The lack of originality would hit you literally right out of the gate when you entered Sunshine Plaza and heard a collection of famous pop songs about California.
Because nothing says cutting-edge theme park like a K-Tel record!
Now available from the Sunshine Plaza loudspeakers, it's Now That's What I Call Theme Park! Featuring a million familiar hits you're sick to bloody death of, because why create when licensing is way more expensive? Only from Disney, the corporation that hates money.
But what about that most crucial element of a theme park success, the central icon? The huge towering structure that beckons you forward from the entrance. Would it be a fantasy castle, a towering tree of life, a ginormous golf ball, or something bigger and better than the three combined? A big old hubcap that looks almost exactly nothing like the sun. It's like you want to fail.
And fail it did. But unlike a failed movie, which can leave theaters after a few weeks, DCA just sorta stood there. Like an annoying neighbor who just won't move away. Sure, he's got a cool flight simulator in his basement, but then you gotta talk to the guy. And he's boring. The biggest complaint was that too many of its rides were unoriginal, generic amusements that might feel more at home at a Six Flags or a county fair.
Paradise Pier was built in tribute to the legendary seaside amusement parks of decades gone by. Only a confused old fart like this guy wouldn't approve of that.
I felt that there should be something built, some kind of an amusement enterprise built where that the parents and the children could have fun together.
Hey kids, come down to Paradise Pier and be jostled around a lot. We got the roller coaster, the spinny thing, the Ferris wheel, the droppy thing, the other spinny thing, the other roller coaster, the smaller droppy thing, and the other spinny thing. Only here at the Santa Monica Pier. Even California Screamin', which might be one of the best roller coasters ever built, is still just a roller coaster. An awesome roller coaster, but not quite a Disney roller coaster. How can the Imagineers sleep at night over the screams of hundreds of thrill-seekers accelerating from 0 to 55 miles an hour in 4 seconds, plunging down an exhilarating 100-foot drop, looking into the face of God on the loop-de-loop, and there's no story, so it's no good. Okay, so DCA was not completely devoid of win, but for the most part it was still the Jan Brady of theme parks, the Art Garfunkel of theme parks, the Disney's California Adventure of theme parks, and just to add insult to injury, later that same year the Tokyo Disneyland Resort opened its own second gate, Tokyo Disney Sea.
Tokyo Disneyland? They're not even owned by the Disney company. What kind of dog and pony show did they call a theme park? The Japanese beat us in something that combines technology with artistry? How's that even possible? We're way smarter than the... Well, no. Our cartoons are way better... Well, no. Our sexual perversions... We're taller. That's right. We are taller than them. USA! USA! I'm gonna go get drunk.
So time marched on. The pointless musical Steps in Time was blown away by the winds of time, which also blew away the truly repulsive Superstar Limo.
And the worst thing is, it blew away the tractor and now we have nothing to look at!
Another common complaint was that there wasn't much in the park for little kids. So in 2002, they opened up Bugs Land after California's most famous insignificant blood-sucking parasites. Yep, too easy.
A Bugs Land gave this park exactly what it so desperately needed. More generic rides!
The spinny thing! The other spinny thing! The choo-choo train with the voice of a dead man! And the bumper cars that are too slow to bump! It's too exciting! I can't stand it!
Number 10 is taking a lead around the far turn. He goes number 13, 16, 17, a green car, blue car, the first car by the steps.
Then in 2003, they opened Aladdin, a musical spectacular.
Apparently Agrabah was in California the whole time. Well, that does explain their customer service.
Do you know what the penalty is for stealing?
The show was a Broadway-style extravaganza filled with bad acting and even worse improvising.
Ollie.
Way to showboat, princess. Then in 2004 came the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, a haunted elevator drop ride that had thrilled guests at Disney World for 10 years and inspired a shitty Steve Guttenberg movie.
But even with those astonishing 3 new things, DCA still wasn't quite a match for the greatest theme park of all time. So the folks at Disney rolled up their sleeves and basically gave up.
They went 4 years before opening their next huge ride. They opened a couple smaller things like Turtle Talk with Crush and a Monsters, Inc. dark ride, but no one seriously expected those to turn the tide. When Disneyland celebrated its golden anniversary in 2005, they barely mentioned DCA at all.
We're here to celebrate 50 years of this wonderful magical theme park. What's that? Oh, the thing outside. That's not a thing. That's you imagined it. It was a dream.
You saw nothing.
California.
But that all started changing when Disney finally traded the SN in Eisner's name for a G. Bob Iger replaced Michael Eisner in 2006, and while Eisner had tried to sweep DCA's problems under the rug, Iger admitted in the press that the park was mediocre and promised to expand and improve it. And in 2008, the first fruits of those labors were seen with Toy Story Mania, a kick-ass 3D video game ride. It was the first thing on Paradise Pier that really felt like Disney had created it, and almost 3 years later it still gets massive lines, even in the off-season, and even with a home version available. Nothing could erode public interest in breaking dinner plates in 3D. Come here, you little fuckers, I'll break you yet! Fuck you, Mom!
And that was just the beginning. Before long, they'd re-Disneyfy everything on Paradise Pier, starting with their new and improved
Ferris wheel! It's the exact same ride, but now Mickey's on it! Hi, Mickey! He never waves back. They also turned the spinny thing into a different spinny thing. They're turning the other roller coaster into another roller coaster, and they dropped the droppy thing entirely.
What more could you monkeys possibly want? You want money? Is that it? Is that it? Okay, there's $1 under every... See, there's not really $1. Sorry. Look, this money's gotta last us for like 5 or 10 years. I mean, we already spent the first $500 million on that giant Mr. Potato Head. It's a real potato. We genetically mutated. It's gonna kill us all sometime in the next 5 years. Shh.
You'll be quiet. Oh, what a treat. So sweet.
Then in 2010 came World of Color, a truly magnificent nighttime spectacle of water and music and color and light. DCA finally had a lot to sell, but they still couldn't quite use DCA to sell it.
The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror at the Disneyland Resort.
Toy Story Mania, now open at the Disneyland Resort.
World of Color, only at the Disneyland Resort.
Subtle. Look how small the word resort is. Then you'd get there and they'd be all,
hi, welcome to Disneyland. If you're here for that cool new thing we've been promoting incessantly, it's in that park. The one that does exist, evidently. Who knew?
And there's even more on the horizon. They're opening a shiny new Little Mermaid ride on June 3rd, and for next year they're building a brand new land based on the movie Cars, and turning that craptastic entry plaza into the extremely promising Buena Vista Street. And that's what these work walls are for. It's been over 10 years since Disney paved a parking lot and put up Paradise Pier, and only now are they really trying to make it worthy of the Disney name. I just wish they had started a couple years earlier so it could be done by now and they could celebrate their 10th-centennial in style. Why do we even have 10 fingers if we're not going to use the number? Oh, by 2012, assuming the Mayans were wrong and this doesn't happen, DCA will gloriously rebirth itself for a much better 11th anniversary, because they like to go one step beyond. In the meantime, if you're coming to Disneyland, don't be deterred by the work walls, embrace them, like this. Come here, you rapscallion. I mean, This isn't Wally World. They're not gonna waste everyone's time by closing the park for weeks. They put up work walls so they can keep the park open. A work wall means progress. A work wall means the future. A work wall means come back and give us even more hard-earned money next year.
And what could possibly be more Californian than that?
Until next time, I'm some jerk with a camera.
What's left of you that's real? A mutated ideal with limited appeal, I suggest.
Let's try that again. I love you, Mr. Potato Head.
It demands your worship.
Welcome to the hotel.